Hey, what's up? How are you doing? Welcome to Ask the Organic Guy. This is a segment that I try to answer some of the most asked questions on the internet about organic and regenerative farming in general. So if you have like a question or a concept that you would like me to explain or expound, I'll be very happy to. Just use the hashtag Ask the Organic Guy on X. I'll be very happy to. Okay, so today I want us to answer one of the most asked questions, and that is, what is regenerative? Okay, regenerative agriculture. What is it? Okay, this is the latest kid on the block and probably the coolest kid on the block. You've got a really Netflix hit that was produced on regenerative agriculture, so this should be fun. What is it? The internet, as usual, is very vague. It doesn't really give you a lot of useful information about what is regenerative agriculture, and that's the nature of it. We are in the age of information, but let's be honest, a lot of the information is very useless. So my goal by the end of this video, I want to be able to give you a really simple, okay, a really simple and practical definition of what regenerative agriculture is. And as you can see, I like to start with the most basics. And the most basics actually to break down these words, what they are. Okay? So as you can see, we have two words here, regenerative agriculture. I think agriculture, most of us know what it is. It's basically the art, the science, and practice of cultivating the soil, growing of crops, and rearing of livestock, right? That's what agriculture is. And what about regenerative? What is it? Okay, and the beauty about this, regenerative actually has a prefix here, which is re. Right? And the word re basically means again, right? You've seen it in other words before, words like rejoin, basically means to join again, okay? Revisit basically means to visit again. So as you can see here, the prefix of re literally means again. But what does the word generative mean? Right? Generative basically means to produce, right? To produce or to create, right? Or to create. So to produce or to create. So basically what the founders of the regenerative movement are trying to tell us here is we are trying to reproduce our agriculture. Okay? What they're trying to tell us is we're trying to recreate our agriculture. But, and this is the bit that actually I love about regenerative agriculture, is that it helped us to ask really important questions, right? So if the founders of the regenerative movement are telling us we need to reproduce our agriculture, we need to recreate our agriculture, the real question is, what are we recreating our agriculture to? Okay, what are we trying to revive? What are we trying to restore our agriculture to? Those are really, really important questions. That's one of the reasons why I love regenerative agriculture. And the real answer is, and for me, if we ask those questions, it gives us with really two very important propositions or assumptions here. One is that our agriculture is a living entity. Right? Clearly, we are trying to restore our agriculture to something, okay? And number two, another assumption that we're getting from here is that our agriculture is degraded, right? Has been degraded or have been destroyed. And the good news is that it can be regenerated. It can be regenerated or it can be recreated. Right? So these are really, really important assumptions that you have to put in mind we're talking about regenerative agriculture, because this is the key message that the guys or the founders of the regenerative agriculture movement are trying to tell us that yes, agriculture is a living entity, and number two is that our agriculture has been destroyed. Our agriculture has been degraded, and hence we need to regenerate it. Okay, so how do they plan to regenerate it? Well, they adopt some practices like no-till, right? This is where you don't disturb the soil to give it time so that it can rejuvenate again, right? They do practices like what? Cover cropping. So they don't like to leave the soils bare. Why? Because this one also rejuvenates or recreates life, right? They do things like agroforestry. Right? The more diversity you have, the more ability to create life. They do things like crop rotation, right? All these practices are geared to regenerating our agriculture system. Very, very important concept. But I mean, by the look of it, then this is just like any other farming system, right? I mean, all these practices can easily argue that agroecology does it, right? Organic agriculture does it. Permaculture does it. So there's really no difference between regenerative and any other sustainable farming system, but is there, right? Of course there is, and I will actually do a video dedicated trying to tell you the difference between organic and regenerative, agroecology and regenerative. Really, really cool. It could be a cool video, so let me know if you like that. But the whole idea is adopting these practices so that we can restore our agriculture. So basically, having understood the essence behind regenerative agriculture, that's where I draw my definition of how I call regenerative agriculture. And that is this. Regenerative agriculture is a farming system that tries to restore life. And I use the word tries to very strategically because there are some practices that regenerative agriculture does that are very questionable to their ability to regenerate, right? So for example, in the US, farmers who practice regenerative agriculture can actually apply glyphosate, right? The one glyphosate that we know is carcinogenic into their farms and actually claim that they're doing no-till, right? So those are some of the questionable practices that regenerative agriculture does that sort of help me question how is it really regenerative? Okay, but good news is that there is regenerative organic certified that sort of tries to rectify these kind of mistakes that what the regenerative agriculture movement are doing. And most of the people are saying that the regenerative movement now is more of a greenwashing movement rather than a really impactful movement. But I hope this definition makes. So personally, if somebody asks me what is regenerative agriculture, I reply by saying it's a farming system that tries to restore life, right? So I hope that definition makes sense. Let me know what you think of it. Is there something I left out? Is there something you can add? I'll be very happy to. If you have any questions on organic or sustainable farming, I'll be very happy to answer those questions. So till the next one, remember to be organic. Cheers.